Yo, what's up guys? For today's video, I wanted to go over something that you guys have been seeing quite a bit in your powerlifting program and will pop up in our CrossFit program from time to time, as well as weightlifting. And that's RPE. A lot of times you'll see, one single at RPE 9 programmed or a set of 3 at RPE 8. And I think there's some miscommunication as to what this actually means for you guys and what you should be doing in the gym and how to approach that. So I want to take a little bit more of a deeper dive into that and go over some of the implications of it, how to approach it from a training perspective, how to approach that day, and also how to use that as a guide to see if you're progressing and if your 1 rep maxes are ultimately moving up, which is what we're looking for. When you see RPE, really that just means rate of perceived exertion. Like the idea is that is just a guide for how hard or heavy that felt for you. So as a coach, what that does for us is it gives us the opportunity to still program a prescribed intensity for the day, but it gives you as an athlete a little bit of freedom to change your training that day depending on how ready you feel. There's a million factors that can affect how you feel on a day-to-day basis. And percentage work is great. It's how we track our progress. We use it 90% of the time, but there are limitations to it. If my intention is for you to have a heavy single or heavy double or a heavy triple, and I prescribe that with percentages, I can't take into account how you slept the night before. Did you have school that morning? Did you have work? Did you get enough food? Etc., etc., etc. There's a million things to think about, and sometimes a linear progression just doesn't cut it for those heavy days. So as an athlete, these RP days are actually there for you to explore that freedom depending on how you feel or how ready you are. It's not always, things that are a detriment to you. Sometimes you're new to a program, you start powerlifting for the first time, all your working sets become super easy. You quickly realize you're a lot stronger than you are. So those RP 9, 8, whatever days give you the freedom to push a little bit more than what a prescribed percentage would as well, right? So essentially, this is just a way of auto-regulating your training. That's it, right? So I'm going to pull up a chart for you here, and this is the easiest chart. It's probably the most commonly used one, and this is from Reactive Training Systems. So it has a simple question for each RP number. It has the RP number on the right, and then it asks, could you maybe have done 3 more reps? Could you have done 2 more reps? Could you have done 1 more, etc., etc., etc. So the standard they use is, could you have maybe done 1 more rep? If so, that's a 9.5. Now, maybe is a very, very, very subjective word. What it's basically asking is, was that so heavy that you questioned whether you can do a 2nd rep? That's a 9.5. All right. 10 is always going to be max. It's your max attempt. No, for sure, I couldn't have done more. That's a 10. Cool. When RP 10 is programmed, which it rarely is, that means go for the heaviest possible that day. RP 9, this is the one you guys have the most difficulty with. A 9 RP, in this chart, it says, could you have definitely done 1 more rep? Now, that's not always the best guide, especially when it comes to singles, because that's a gray area. Again, it's subjective, but it is for any sort of rep work. So when you see a triple at RP 9, it means that you should work up to a weight you felt you could have done a 4th rep at, but you stopped at 3. That is an RP 9 triple, right? So it's just making it a little bit more personalized to you. How do you feel internally under the barbell or with the bar in your hands, etc.? Could you have done 1 more? If you think yes, you're probably at an RP 9. There's other ways of estimating what that is. Some people get more creative with it. They do things like bar speed. They measure bar speed all the time, and they can track your speed to your rate of exertion. We're not doing any of that. Everything we're doing here is athlete-based. It's all subjective. All right. I like this system, this reactive training system chart. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty easy to understand, and it still gives you the freedom to feel things out for the day. right? So there's a couple other things I want to talk about besides that chart. I do want you guys to really look at that chart, especially powerlifters that see this all the time, and really get a feel for that. Again, singles are subjective, but the idea is if you think you maybe could have done another rep, it's probably around a 9. You know, if you grinded a single out and you're like, there's no way I could have done another one, you went heavier than the prescribed intensity for that day or the intention for that day. The two most frequent RPs you're gonna see are 8 and 9. Anything below that, I think, like a 7 and lower, is almost like just a fast moving weight for powerlifting. Would be like, a warm up before your opener or maybe your opener. It's fairly simple. It's something you could probably do 3 reps at or more. Yeah, but those are going to be the most common ones. So there's something else I want to go over for you guys, and that is the intention for the day, how to approach those days, your warm up sets, and having a number or a goal in mind. How do we pick that number? How do we get to that goal? So there's another chart I'm gonna show you guys right now. Okay, so these RPE Rep Charts, you can find these online. You Google RPE Rep Chart, you'll definitely find one. There's a bunch of these. This one's made by Mike Teixeira from Reactive Training Systems. This is just a generalized RPE Rep Chart. They're all pretty self-explanatory if you really take a second to understand the chart. Along the top, you're gonna see numbers. You're gonna see columns labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are your reps. On the left, you're gonna see a column with the numbers 10, 9.5, 9, 8.5, 8, etc. That's your RPE number. So, you can follow along, the RPE number. So let's say you're doing a 9. You can follow along, right, from left to right and see a prescribed or generalized intensity or percentage for that RPE at every rep count. So for instance, an RPE 9 for a single should be about 96 or 95%. An RPE 9 for a double should be around 92, for a triple around 89, for 4 around 86, etc., etc., etc. So there's a bunch of math. You might be asking, how do I use this? Well, first of all, you can use this to set a goal for the day. So let's say you walk in to the day, you see bench by 5 reps at RPE 8 for the day. You find your column of reps, 5, you come down to the prescribed RPE 8, and you see that's around 81%. Okay, so now you have an idea going into that day what 5 reps at that RPE should be around. Should be around 80%, right? So you warm up, you hit a set at 75%, it feels easy. You go up, you hit a set at 80%, feels exactly how it should. Awesome, you did your job for the day. Cool, you hit a good target number. You're on pace. That RPE equates well for what your prescribed 1 rep max is. You're hitting your right intensity. Now, let's say you hit that set at 75 and it feels really hard. It's okay, shut it down. You don't need to go to that prescribed intensity. Remember, these templates are generalized. They're just there to give you an idea for the day or a target goal to hit. Now, you can also do something kind of cool with this, especially for lifters that feel like they're getting stronger and are mid-cycle. You want to see, is my 1 rep max going up? Am I getting stronger? Well, you can use this to gauge that. So let's say you have, same example, set of 5, RP 8, you get to 80%, you hit it, feels easy. You go up to around 85%, you hit it, it feels easy. You go up, let's say you hit 86% that day. Awesome, right? You can take your max, right, divide it by that RPE percentage, and it's going to spit out a number, an estimated 1 rep max. If that number is above your actual 1 rep max, you're getting stronger. You're doing a good job. You're progressing, right? Let's go over an example just so you guys fully understand it. Let's say your max is 100 kilos, right? You have a set of, I don't know, let's say you have a triple at RPE 9. That should be around 89 to 90%. You hit that, it feels easy. You go up, you hit 95%, it feels easy, right? So now you did 95% at RP 9 for 3. So you take the number you hit, 95, right? You find what RP 9 at 3 should be about 89%. So now you divide 95 by 0.89, right? 95 divided by 0.89. This gives you an estimated 1 rep max of 106 kilos. Does that mean your max is 106 kilos? No, but it does mean you are getting stronger and you are progressing. Hopefully that example makes sense. So these RPE rep charts are good tools. They give you guides for the day, help you set intention. They also give you some way of checking your performance and seeing if you're on the right track. Okay? Remember guys, the idea here is there's a prescribed intensity for the day. I'm giving you a little bit of freedom determining based on how ready you are to hit that number to go up or down. You still want a guide, you still want a goal, and you still want to have the right intention. All right? The hardest thing here is being honest with yourself. Don't look at this rep chart, pick a number and say, I'm going to treat this like a max out day and just work to that number with big jumps. We want you to work there, get a lot of warm-up reps in, feel that weight out, and only then, if it feels good, you go back to the first chart. You know, are you matching the right intensity? If the answer is yes and it's easy, then go up. That's okay. But you have to be honest with yourself. All right, guys? Hopefully this video helps. If you have any more questions, please hit me up. You can find us on Facebook, email info@Team Soul Training. Thanks.